number 6, which technically doesn't have any point value attached to it. I mean, if you look at the quiz, the points come from filling in the distribution, so you got 5 points right there, and then writing down the average and the standard deviation. Okay? Now, I had you write down the standard deviation just because I wanted to give you a point. I don't want you to actually use that thing. It's stupid. What is the standard deviation of this distribution? $822. That's a ridiculous number. Yes? That depending on what you round it to, 822, 820, what did you guys do over here? 823. It's a ludicrous number.
Oh, you did, okay.
The reason it's ludicrous, you'll see in the next question I had you graph it as a modified box plot, and you'll actually see the distribution is ludicrously skewed. Because think about it, 87% of the time, I'm not dying. So 87% of the numbers are negative 360. So your first quartile, your second quartile, your third quartile are all negative 360. Your box plot looks like this. Go ahead, Jake.
It's not 87% of the time you're not dying.
Yes.
What it would be.
Oh, not dying nor becoming disabled. Sorry. I'm not dying nor becoming disabled. So 87% of the time, I'm losing $360. Thank you. That's a very good clarification. 99% of the time, 99.8% of the time, I'm not dying. But as far as costs go, you're right, Jacob, you're right. As far as costs go, I'm losing $360 87% of the time, which makes the box plot not very interesting to look at. It doesn't look like a single vertical line, so we can ignore that for the most part. So the standard deviation is ridiculously inflated. What's the average? Negative $93, yes? That's what I want to talk about. It's negative just like this one was negative, yeah? Why?
Because you're going to lose money most of the time.
That's what it implies, but why are you going to lose money? Why does that make sense, that you should lose money on average?
You don't want to die or become disabled.
Well, okay, good answer.
The insurance company has to make money to
That's what I'm looking for the insurance end of it. They have to make money off of you. Why? Give me one reason. Caitlin, the people that actually die, they have to be paid off. That's just how insurance came to be. I know insurance companies come under the gun for a lot of things, sometimes justifiably, raising premiums for flood victims and things like that, after the fact. But the whole point of insurance originally was the idea that you get together and you pool resources, and those who need them pull them when they need them. I mean, we do that at work with sick days. We have, I think, a dozen sick days per year that keep accruing every year. I've been here 10 years now, so I've got like 115 sick days or 120 sick days piled up. Every once in a while, somebody gets really sick, and then we'll all kick in 10 or 15 from our stash to them. Essentially doing a life insurance policy for sick days, if that makes sense. And that's the idea. If you think about it, that's the way insurance, it's awesome, and that's the way insurance started. It's become this crazy business-driven model, but at the heart of it, the reason that works is because we all pay in the same amount-ish, and we grab from it when we need it. The reason that actuaries sometimes get the blame, or insurance companies, not actuaries don't really get blamed, the insurance companies do, is if they raise the premiums too high, it's viewed as greed. They pay into the pot, they put the money aside for those who need it in the accidents, and then their six-figure salaries don't warrant raising your premium to the point to get that. That's where it can get tricky, and the ethical question gets a little bit muddled. But you see, it has to be negative. They have to pay the rent, they got to pay the employees, they got to keep the lights on. Vegas, it's Vegas because they got to keep the lights on, they got to pump the water in from Los Angeles, they got to bring in all the free booze. I mean, that costs money. Who pays for it? You do. So on average, you lose $93. What's interesting too is the people that died also lost $93 on average. On average! Granted, they made $10,000, but as one element of the average, they lost $93 as well. Does that make sense? That gobbles up all those $10,000 payouts. Makes them meaningless. Isn't that incredible? So that's the idea. Actuaries need to know that number because they're selling these things by the hundreds, if not thousands. So they can keep a track of what the policies are earning them on average. Fair enough? All right, now you're ready for the rest of the quiz. Go ahead and keep going past number 6. This is a whimsical kind of funny